To the conversation, which will take us through the papers ahead of the return of the Premier League this weekend and, of course, the return of Cristiano Ronaldo. But it isn't all just about Manchester United's face Norwich needing to win to ease the pressure on Mikel Arteta, and Manchester City go to Leicester. Can they get first blood this weekend? Smelling blood on the show today, Jay Bothroyd and Troy Townsend. Now, before we get started, let's just take you through the back pages. The Mirror has Walker racism row, claims that Poland's Kamal Glick racially abused Carl Walker during Wednesday night's England game. The FA have asked FIFA to look into that particular row. That's on the back page of The Guardian and the Daily Telegraph as well. The Sun has Ronaldo on the back page saying, "I'm going to be huge." Well, he already is. He put a statement out on Thursday night insisting he hasn't come to Manchester United, back to Manchester United, for a holiday. He means business. That's on the back page of the Express too. And the Times has the UEFA president, Alexander Cheferin, warning of a World Cup boycott by the European and South American countries if FIFA pushes ahead with a move to hold the tournament every 2 years. Arsene Wenger, who is FIFA's head of global development, has laid out a revolutionary plan for a new calendar with a major international tournament every summer and the World Cup and European Championship on alternate years. Absolutely crazy. Jay, let's start with Ronaldo. He starts on Saturday against Newcastle, doesn't he?
This guy is going to come here and score some serious goals, I think. Like he said, he ain't playing. He's come here to do something. He's come here to win another, Champions League, win leagues. But I don't think this game could have been planned any better for him at home against Newcastle. But, I can't see any kind of result apart from, 3, 4, 5-0 and, Ronaldo 2 or 3 goals. I think this game, is made for him.
Yeah, Troy, it's 8 years since Newcastle have beaten United at Old Trafford. This season, they've already conceded 8 goals, Newcastle, in their 3 games so far. They've lost 2, they've drawn the other against Southampton. It's made for Ronaldo, isn't it?
Definitely made for Ronaldo. He couldn't have picked, as Jay has said, a better game to reintroduce himself to the English public. Newcastle United under Steve Bruce, I don't know what their identity is. I mean, they've got some great players in individual positions at that football club, but again, they've started the season without much optimism. Only one signing in Willock, apparently no more in the budget. And I just don't know. I can't see an identity at that football club, and I can't see. I don't know what the future holds. So for me, this one has got Ronaldo written all over it. Like, I'm not going to go for the 3 goals that Jay has said, but I do believe it will be a comfortable Man United victory, and I do believe that he will start the game.
Okay, now I've got a question for both of you. Arsenal are bottom of the league after 3 defeats and 9 goals conceded. What happens if Norwich draw or even beat them this weekend, Jay?
Well, you know what I've been saying before this weekend. For me, Arteta's not the guy. But, I mean, if Norwich beat Arsenal, fans are going to go crazy. This is a must-win game for Arsenal. Some of my friends and, they've been like laughing and joking with me, but they've been saying, is this a 6-pointer? And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking at the moment, it seems like it because Arsenal need those points. They need to get back on track. There's no excuses now that there's injured players coming back. And I think Arsenal don't just need to win this game. They need to win this game in style. And they need to really show the fans and, the critics, everyone that they mean business. Now they've got most of their players back fit again.
But the critics are justified, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, Jay's absolutely spot on. A 6-pointer. Arsenal bottom of the table, -9 goals. Norwich City second from bottom, -9 goals. I mean, it's all up for grabs, isn't it? You look at Arsenal, and again, Darren, we've spoken about Arsenal quite a lot on this program, and I've always wondered about their identity under Arteta. I've always worried about where the steer they were going. Yes, they've got some great, fantastic young players who seem to be driving the team on, but I look for the senior figures in the team, and again, I think that they've let this football club down, and I think they've let the manager down. This is a critical fixture that I expect them to go out and win, and I expect them to go out and win comfortably, but it cannot overshadow the problems that still exist at that football club for sure.
Troy, I was saying this before when you talk about, the teams of the past. I was saying when I was coming up, and I had people in front of me like Bergkamp, Henry, Vieira, Petit, all these kind of players, and I'm looking at thinking, man, I can't wait to even train with you guys. If I'm a youth team player coming up now, and I'm any good, I'll be thinking I should be playing.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking about, being involved in training or being involved in the reserves or, that kind of thing. I'm thinking, I'm better than these guys. I should be playing. There's no one, I don't see any leadership. I don't see anyone to, the other day we're talking about Aubameyang and he's a captain. But in the Man City game, his head was the first to drop. And that gave me some real concerns. This game is not even, the most important game. I'm expecting Arsenal to win. The most important games for me is Burnley away and Brighton. They're the most important games for me. And I think they'll be the most difficult.
That's a really interesting point because Brighton sold one of their defenders to Arsenal for £50 million. If with that defender, Arsenal go to Brighton and Brighton still beat them, that's a really bad look, isn't it?
It is a bad look, but I don't look at it in that way. Again, I'm giving Arteta until the next international break. And is there 4 games between now and then or 3 games? He's got to win 2 or 3 of those games. I don't think there can be a negative result in any of those games that would fill the board, let alone anybody else. There's always the rumours are already starting. And what happens is when the rumours start and when the fan base get on top, the pressure really starts, doesn't it? So I'm with Jay. I think they win this game comfortably. I do worry about the leadership again, because if it's not Aubameyang, the leadership is thrown to Xhaka, who obviously suspended anyway. But again, you've not really got true leaders in that side. So the next couple of games will be really interesting for Arsenal.
Okay. Leicester host Manchester City this weekend. The Foxes were winners in the Community Shield and they've won 2 of their 3 games so far. But City have scored 10 goals in their 2 games against Norwich and Arsenal. Who wins and why, Troy?
I always think this is a difficult one when these big games come around, and this is a big game straight after the international break where everyone has gone all over the world. Nearly all over the world, as long as you're not going to South America. But they've travelled far and wide. I always find these games a little bit difficult, and I'm surprised it's a 3:00 kickoff on a Saturday afternoon. But it is what it is. I'm putting Man City down for a win again. I think they've got enough in their locker. Although Leicester City have started well, I just think this is a game prime for City. I'm going to give it a 2-0 victory. And I'm not going to say it's going to be comfortable, but I'm going to go for a Pep Guardiola Man City win on this one.
Jay, City looking good. Leicester started in the Premier League at least slowly, but they've had 2 wins in the last 2 games. Who wins for you?
I agree with Troy, to be honest. I don't see Leicester getting a win here, but like Troy said, it's difficult coming back from international breaks. The squad hasn't been training together. Especially Man City that have internationals in every position. Probably Leicester have less internationals, so there are more players training with each other. But I think Leicester have to approach this game smartly. You really have to soak up the pressure and play counter-attack, and use the pace of Vardy and Barnes. And I think that's how you're going to get a result, by frustrating them. But again, for me, I do think Man City will win. Okay,
West Ham. Let's talk about them. They've looked so good this season. They've done some really good business in the transfer window as well. They go to Southampton, who've lost Vestergaard, they've lost Bertrand, they've lost Danny Ings. Is this going to be a straightforward win, Troy, for David Moyes' side?
Not straightforward. Southampton are one of those sides where you just cannot work them out. They have lost the players that you've said, and somewhere along the line, they kind of pick up results that you maybe don't expect, a la Man United. I expected a West Ham win. Sorry, I do expect them to have far too much, but I don't think it'll be one of those easy games where you think, you look at the Southampton line 11 and you think to yourself, yeah, this should be right up West Ham Street. It's one of those where it could quite easily turn the other way. Although I'm going to bank on an away victory. I don't think there's got. If you keep asking me these questions, I think I'm going for more away victories than home victories this weekend. But yeah, Again, I look at Antonio. He's been away on international duty for the first time as well with Jamaica. And as long as all the things are in place, all the bits are in place for West Ham, Ben Rama started the season really well as well. For Nows, I think that we'll be looking at a West Ham victory. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 3-1, but I'm not gonna go for a 3-1 like it's a comfortable 3-1. I'm not good at score lines, by the way. So if I get anything right this weekend, I'm gonna be really happy.
I think this could be a little bit of a stumbling block for West Ham, to be honest. I think Southampton are pretty good at home. They keep the ball well. They've got a good shape. Yes, they've lost players, but they still seem to like get results at home. And I think this could be a stumbling block for West Ham. Even though I really like West Ham, I think they've got great individuals. I think Fornals is, I think key for their attack. Obviously, Mikel Antonio's had a fantastic start to the season, but I'm gonna sit on the fence here and say it's a draw, because I don't really like we said before, it's an international break. Everyone's coming back, and I think it will be that kind of game which will kind of cancel each other out.
Chelsea, they were held to a point by Liverpool before the break, but they've impressed a lot of people with their style of play, with the wins that they've had in their early games too. How do you see their game going, Troy, against Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge?
Well, this is one of those. Again, it'll be interesting to see what Chelsea team lines up. I know there were rumours of an injury for Lukaku, although I did see pictures of him in training. Timo Werner has had a very good international break, although I did see a miss from inside the 6-yard box that went sky high over the bar. But hopefully he scored a couple of goals in that international break. I think the midfield for Chelsea will win this game, and I'm going for a home win here. I think whatever permutation that Tuchel picks will be too strong for Villa's midfield, with the quality that they have up front as well. I'm liking this Chelsea team, and I said from the outset this season, I think whatever team that Tuchel wants to put out on a particular day will go out and approach the kind of the objective really, really well. I've got them down pushing Man City close, if not winning it. I'm still edging what way I go for the title. But I do think, again, this will be a game too much for Aston Villa. And I'm looking at a Chelsea victory. And I'm going 2-0.
Okay. Now, Jay, on Sunday, Leeds hosts Liverpool. We know how both teams like to play. But surely Leeds won't be open at home to Sadio Mane, Mo Salah and Roberto Firmino, will they?
This is a game in the weekend for me. I think it's going to be a really good game, as in, I think Leeds always play the same way, no matter who they play against. They're just going to go there and press each other, just go man for man and press you. Try and make you make mistakes for 90 minutes. And it's either going to be the kind of game like it was against Man United, where Man United just smash them, or they could end up getting stealing a win. I don't see this being a draw. I see there being goals in the game. Of course, Mane and Salah are very important, but I think Jota has come into the team and he's done really, really well. He's added another dimension to their attack, where Firmino, he seems to come to feet a lot, where Jota runs in behind and comes to feet, and I think that's helped their attack. But, obviously Van Dijk against, Bamford, and I think Matip will probably play with him. But, I think it's going to be a really good game and I'm looking forward to watching it. But I think...
Let's just stick with you, Jay. Do you think that Liverpool's tactic might be to win the ball in midfield and then to get Salah and Mane running into the space that Leeds tend to leave in behind? Yeah,
I think definitely. I think they'll be making them diagonal runs in between in between the fullbacks and centre halves. Liverpool might even try and play counter attack and soak up the pressure and then break. But I do think Liverpool do have those key players that can find passes. I think Trent's been fantastic. He played in midfield, I think, for England, but from the right side, he puts great balls into the box. He's got great vision as well. But I see Liverpool win this one. But I think it will be an interesting game.
Okay.